Hello, my friend. In this video, we are going to be covering two things. First is the importance of list segmentation when it comes to your email marketing as a musician or an artist. It's important to make sure that you're segmenting your list in specific ways so that you can measure how effective your lead generation actually is, because you want to be making sure that when you bring someone into your email marketing system, that they're actually going to be opening and engaging with your emails. You can get really cheap leads into your system, but if they're not actually going to become fans and actually open your stuff, then it's kind of useless. So we're going to be covering that in this video. And the second thing is benchmarks when it comes to how much you should be looking for in terms of cost per lead and what you're going to want to be looking for in terms of engagement. So open rates and click rates and all that kind of stuff, because you do want to be balancing a low cost per lead with someone who's actually a fan, is going to engage with you and actually dive into your world and become a fan and all that good stuff. So with that said, there will be a link in the description below to the Email Marketing Jumpstart worksheet, which will help you along with this whole process of setting up an email marketing system in your music career. So with that said, let's jump on into this. One of the things that I want to talk about right off the bat is a concept called list segmentation. And so essentially the idea here is that you want to have a new list for every acquisition tactic that you have. So for Facebook leads, or if you're bringing people from Bandcamp, those kinds of things, you want to have a new list for all of those, because you want to be able to measure the open and click rate of each of these tactics to determine how effective each tactic actually is. And then again, with MailerLite and with a decent amount of these email marketing platforms, it's possible to have these different lists and have them join the same automation sequences so that you're not going to have to create a welcome sequence for each one of these, which would be annoying. And so to give you a good idea of this, I want to give you a look at some of my actual numbers from some of the testing and different things I've been trying in the last while. So if you see here, I have a different list for Facebook leads, for Bandcamp customers, Bandcamp subscribers, and website leads. For each one of these groups or lists, over on the right, you can see there's an open rate and a click rate assigned to this, even though they're going through the same sequences. So over on the Facebook lead, you can see that there was a 15% open rate, which is below average, and 0.9% click rate, which is also below average. If we look at Bandcamp customers, we can see it was 45%, which is much higher than average. We can see the click rate is 4.6, which is also double the average as well. But then the nice thing here is we can see, okay, like ideally I can get more Bandcamp customers. The thing is, you can't really scale that up, but it does show you that when I do get a Bandcamp customer, it's more effective in terms of how engaged these people are, including the same thing with subscribers. So sending anyone over to Bandcamp, I found, at least in my tests, that when they subscribe to the list, they put their email in to get the song for free, these are also quite good engagement rates. So 34% are opening and almost 10% are clicking. So again, that shows the value of this type of tactic. And then something interesting here is I did do a test of Facebook lead ads versus on website leads, like a lead form on a website. And you can see here the open rate was 9% and the click rate was 0.8%. So this shows, like, even though I thought it would make sense for website leads to be more engaged because they're taking more steps, I was actually proven wrong by the data. So now it makes sense to focus on this type of acquisition strategy over this acquisition strategy, because this one's bearing a more positive open rate and click rate. Before moving forward, just want to kind of set up with a couple of different benchmarks when it comes to what you want to look for when you are building all this out and kind of expectations that you can have. So in terms of emails that you send out, some pretty standard benchmarks that you want to follow is something like aiming for a 20% open rate and a 2% click rate. And so it might come as a shock, but not 100% of people are going to open your list, especially the more that list grows. So something around 20% is a solid amount to aim for, and 2% clicking is also a solid amount to aim for as well. It's kind of very much in line with industry standards across most of the different industries, so it's a nice place to start. In terms of when you're running ads to acquire new leads, there's also a benchmark to follow. For the purpose of finding fans and that kind of thing, you're going to want to aim for about $1 to $2 per lead. Technically, the way to do this, if you actually were selling a product, is you could actually work your way back from the cost of the product and figure out how much a lead matters to you in terms of reaching towards that actual cost. But with music, it can get a little bit more fluid and interesting, since we're working with maybe 0.0003 cents for streams, and it can take a little bit more time for a fan to fall in love with an artist enough to actually make any purchases. So aiming for about $1 per two per lead is generally a very safe bet here. And then also very similar to how in the last workshop when we were focusing on Facebook ads. And in any of the trainings that I talk about Facebook ads for Spotify, you always want to kind of keep an eye on the quality of the lead. So when we're talking about Facebook ads for Spotify, not every single click is measured the same. Since you can spend a bunch of money on low cost clicks on Facebook ads that turn into zero streams, which is basically useful. In the same way, if you were getting a lead for 0.001 cents, but none of those leads were ever opening or ever clicking on your emails ever, it's in the same way kind of a waste of money. So you always want to kind of cross-reference how much you're paying per lead versus how actually engaged those leads are to decide if that's worth your time and your money and your effort. So with that said, let's keep moving along. Hello again, my friend. Hopefully you now have a solid understanding of list segmentation as well as the benchmarks when it comes to email marketing as an artist or musician. If you want to go a little bit deeper with this and get a bit more help setting up your overall email marketing system, check out the link below for the Email Marketing Jumpstart worksheet, which will help you along this process of setting everything up. It's completely free. Link is in the description. With that said, if you found this video useful, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.